He must be crying himself to sleep at night. Poor
Yeah,
bastard.
it's terrible. Family show, seriously. Please continue, Gavin.
Sorry. So I just think that Trump was alluding to that, and we've heard stories of her paying off people to hide lesbian affairs. She tried to hide that her husband her brother was gay, died of AIDS. She's tried to hide the fact that she didn't really grow up in poverty. I mean, these stories do well on daytime TV. I had 2 pet cockroaches. Come on. There wasn't a prisoner in 1700 who had pet cockroaches. She's such an obvious liar, and that works for daytime TV, but it won't work in politics where everything has to be aired out. She doesn't have a chance in hell.
Exactly, but they're going to run her like she's this glorious woman that cares. Meanwhile, she's literally the wingman going out and getting tail, and I guess you're going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say it. She's well known with Weinstein to enjoy tail together. The word is she gets in bed with, I got Hollywood contacts. People see Oprah and Weinstein. They go in the room with a couple hot young chicks, and it's party time. Well,
you've seen that picture of her handing over that, I think she's a British R&B singer.
Yeah, the hot blonde.
The hot blonde. And the way Weinstein is touching her, And
the blonde's holding on to her. The blonde's like a little monkey clinging on. The blonde is like, help me.
It's like something out of ISIS, like Pakistan or something, where they're handing over these little boys to the other jihadists, and there's sort of this trepidation, like, am I doing this? Are we really doing this? Yes, it'll be okay, sweet one. It'll be okay. It's demon stuff.
She's handing a woman over to a famous rapist.
Yes, and when we watch the Golden Globes, too, we know Mira Sorvino isn't there because she said no. But everyone else, you look at them and you go, well, you're here. Did you say yes? Salma Hayek pretends she was a victim, but she did the lesbian scene in the movie for Weinstein. All these people followed the rules, and now after they've done this, which is really just very expensive prostitution, they put on their low-slung black dresses and go, me too. It's over now. I'm going to stop being an expensive prostitute. No, sorry, it doesn't work like that. You can't get on your high horse when it's fashionable.
Can you imagine being a high-end escort in New York or Chicago or L.A. and you knock, you go to the door, and it's Oprah Winfrey in a dominatrix outfit?
I would do it, and I don't care what my wife says. I would do it for the story. Can you imagine at the bar with your buddies, and you just got back from having sex with a $3 billionaire lesbian mogul? The stories are amazing.
Well, that's right. Here it is from the New York Post. Lesbian flings, prostitution, and abuse lies. Oprah's hidden life. And the word is she's seen more tail than a toilet seat.
She doesn't even know who her dad is. Look, America's ready for another black president. America's ready for a woman president. America is not ready for an unmarried, closeted lesbian with a deep, sordid past who believes in The Secret. She believes that if you keep saying something like, I want a Mercedes-Benz, it'll magically appear. She told a woman who had cancer that she could use The Secret instead of chemo. She did recommend Western medicine, but this woman said, I'm going to go with The Secret. Thanks, Oprah, and then promptly died.
Exactly, but it gets worse. It gets worse. Oprah runs this big tax-free cult with Bill and Melinda Gates and teaches Africans depopulation. And I'm trying to find the article I saw a few years ago. In Europe, she runs a group of women that pledge to never have children for the earth.
Wow. Well, she's racist, too. She goes to these inner city schools and she says, I don't like it here. They're all petty and they're materialistic. Meanwhile, she's the most materialist person in the world with you get a car, you get a car, you get $450 cheese steak knives. But when it comes to other people,
she hangs out. She's the only black person led into Bill and Melinda Gates' whole eugenics operation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
and
look
then she
that
opened
up.
a school in South Africa because she likes the blacks there. They seem more ambitious. She spends, $40 million of it. It's got a beauty salon. It's got a yoga studio. Only 150 girls can go. Thanks, Oprah. You helped the black elites in South Africa. Mugabe's kids can go. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, look into her and, quote, secret meetings with world leaders to push depopulation with David Rockefeller. It's insane. I want to come back with Gavin Mclnnes and continue along this line and get into Trump, Wolf, all this ridiculous garbage. We're going to get into fake news when he got this huge standing ovation at the football game yesterday, and then they said he was getting booed and showed people outside. I want to get into, again, the whole monkey controversy. Your kid can't wear a monkey shirt if they're black, or that's racist. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones. Gavin Mclnnes, he agrees with the president. Hillary Clinton is nothing compared to Oprah Winfrey when you talk about the incredible skeletons. And if she thinks she's really going to run in 2020, I think it's a bluff. Trump thinks it's a bluff. But Gavin McLnnes, he's really up on his Oprah history. Gavin, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with being a prostitute, but pimping women, bringing women to Weinstein, all of it. This is mainstream news. Let's talk about why you think she's unelectable.
Look, her own mother said, you can take Oprah out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of Oprah. She was remarkably promiscuous in the day, to put it mildly. She was turning tricks. She was basically a prostitute. And that's still in her DNA. So when she's with Weinstein and she's in this big world with these billionaires, she still has that ghetto mentality of, you want to try this girl out for a while? Let's try this girl. Hey, mind if I come along? And she's got the money to keep it all silent. But when you run for election, as we've seen with Trump, everything comes out. Things come out that weren't even true. And Oprah would never stand up to that kind of scrutiny. I mean, look at her whole life. She was such a slut. Sorry for the family show violation there. But she was such a slut. Her mother sent her to, what's his name, Vernon Winfrey. That wasn't even her father. It was just, this guy, by the way, deserves an award. He took this kid from the ghetto who claims to have pet cockroaches, slutting around like a prostitute, and turns her into a pillar of society, a stalwart businesswoman who makes billions. This guy deserves half her money. And she comes out of that and pretends that it's always been peaches and cream and she's perfectly normal. No, she's a sexual deviant. She's basically a pimp. And the idea of her even having a snowball's chance in hell as president is totally laughable. Sorry, libs. 8 years. You blew it again.
Gavin, it's incredible. As I refresh my memory, her own biography says she was a teen prostitute. Well, that I'm sure fits right in Hollywood. You've got her sticking her tongue in Harvey Weinstein's ear, all over him, kissing him. Reports in the news, but of Weinstein and a bunch of hot young chicks with her arm in arm going into rooms. I mean, she is a maniac. And then you've got British starlets and others saying that she would lure women in and that Weinstein would say, meet Oprah, and then they would basically just pile on top here. I mean, she's not going to disavow Weinstein, as Paul Watson wants in his new petition, because she's probably a bigger deviant than Weinstein, who then goes to the Golden Globes and lectures us about how all men are pigs and bad. I mean, this woman is the ultimate hypocrite.
Yeah, she gets raped by her black cousin, allegedly, and decides to pin the blame on white men and Trump. It's like she uses her rape as a flamethrower and just directs it at anyone she doesn't like. If her flight is late, it was my rape. It really trivializes the genuine.
You get a rape. You're a rapist. You're a rapist. You're a rapist.
You get to be a rapist. You get to be a rapist. She's corrupt, and she's on the surface. You go, oh, successful black woman, smart, articulate, empowering. She delivers a good speech. President. Because as David Brooks pointed out in the Times today, there's a Potemkin village mentality with the left. And they just go, Trump, evil bad man, black lady, good lady. And they don't go deeper than that. Like, they don't go, who is this person? And with the White House, they don't go beyond the Potemkin village, and they don't look at unprecedented black unemployment, 2 million new jobs, Dow records broken every day, ISIS on the run. They ignore all of that, all of these global victories, this draining the swamp, and they just go, he made a rude joke in a bus, and that woman's black.
Gavin, what's even worse, and I totally agree with you, you're causing me to have all these things I'm remembering about Oprah, but just the other night at the Golden Globes, they cut to Meryl Streep, and they're all shaking their heads yes about how evil men are and have tears in their eyes. This is a woman that does standing ovations at the peak of the controversy 6 years ago when they wanted to let Roman Polanski off for kidnapping and raping a 13-year-old girl till she reportedly anally bled everywhere. I'm not going to be gross, but he raped the little girl. And while reportedly another big movie star was there. And, oh, that's just breaking. The police have announced he can come back. The charges are dropped, even though he confessed to it and everything. And he was convicted and ran off. No future charges because Polanski, the statute of limitations is over. So Meanwhile, you've got Meryl Streep saying that Richard Dreyfuss, when she agreed to do the stunt, slapped her too hard in an Academy Award-winning movie. I mean, the slap's famous. I mean, it's real. That's what you do in acting. I've been in stunts and stuff and got bloodied up. I said, I agree to do it. They said, you want a stuntman to do this? If not, you got to drop your knees to the ground. You got to get drugged by the police. They're going to throw you in there. And I got bloodied up. It wasn't even that big a stunt. The point is that she goes, oh, Richard Dreyfuss slapped me too hard. Oh, I'm traumatized. When she is literally, like Oprah, running around, covering up, and pimping for predators.
Look, we know what time's up means. It means I knew, we all knew, we let it go, but now the jig is up and everyone can see the casting couch. So starting today, we're not going to popularize it anymore. We're not going to ignore it. Ooh, how brave. You let 1,000 rapes go under the radar, and starting today, you say time's up. You're not going to allow rape anymore because it went public? Wow, what a crusader for justice you are. We're so impressed, you feminists.
Oh, the left, the Huffington Post really attacked when I said, you know, young girls think they're going to be movie stars. They get on a bus, they get off. Even the big casting companies are a front for porn, and they just say, you're not going to be in movies, but you can be a star here. And then they end up not even paying them. Then they drug them up and use them for prostitution. And this is the admission. And then the media, the left, attacked me saying it was a conspiracy theory because they don't want young girls to know the most miserable place on earth, or young men as well, is Hollywood. You want to get raped? You want to get abused? You want to get killed? Go to Hollywood.
And we all feel that way. When we see kids on TV, when we see kids in movies, we go, oh, that's sad. Some parents don't love them. Some parents want to force their kids to absolve themselves of a childhood and go make the family money by being a star. Like the Phoenix's mother, forcing those poor kids. Juan Phoenix didn't want his kids to get involved in that. He wanted them to live in Costa Rica and have a fun life. But no, they got to get into Hollywood. So you get raped once in a while. We're all going to be rich. And it's the same when you see these women in movies. You think, wow, you want to be famous and rich so bad you're willing to prostitute yourself. They're all just very high-paid sex workers. And it is brutally sad. And I loved watching the Golden Globes the other night because for the first time ever, America can see these people through our eyes, which is these are all disgusting, greedy whores.
That's right. And literally, Oprah Winfrey is known for luring women into Harvey Weinstein, and then she's going to lecture us. Because, again, she had the talent. She is talented. She's a great liar. She has a lot of charisma. But other than that, it doesn't just take talent. You know how she worked her way up right through the whole power chain. She fit right in.
She's a pimp, and Harvey Weinstein is the biggest paying John in the history of Hollywood, but neither of those two are unique. That is the culture of Hollywood. That's why the term casting couch exists.
Oprah Winfrey sticking her filthy tongue in the filthy ear of Harvey Weinstein and then lecturing us about racism when she's worth $3 billion, the highest paid entertainer in the world. We'll be back.